So if the Eagles decide to stay at 21, there's a good possibility that Lamb, Jeudy, and Ruggs are all off the board. If that's the case and the Eagles want to go wide receiver, where do they go? Still stinks. Everybody doing? King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. You know, I wanted to come on here and do a second video today, and I wanted to do it because I want to talk about the draft. And I'm very excited about the draft. I'm excited about the wide receiver position and the amount of good wide receivers that are coming into this draft. And I'm convinced that the Eagles have to go wide receiver in the first round. They got to do it because they've done such a bad job in the mid-rounds taking a wide receiver. And just because you have a lot of talent in this draft at wide receiver doesn't mean they're going to pick the right guy. So I want to go early in this draft. I want to go wide receiver. No question about it. And I've been watching a lot of tape of different prospects. And, there's some things I want to talk about. So I figured I'd come on and talk to you guys about it. Now, what I want you guys to do is sit back, relax, and imagine it is draft night. It is draft night. The draft is taking place. We are about the 13th, 14th pick, and the Eagles are still at 21. And I'm freaking out, right? I'm either live streaming this or I'm at the draft myself. And I'm freaking out that the Eagles got to trade up. They got to trade up because Lamb is off the board, Jeudy's off the board, and my man Ruggs is sitting there, and he's probably the next wide receiver to go. So imagine this is going on, right? I'm freaking out. I'm going nuts. And we all know that the Eagles need wide receiver. Some people think we need a corner in the first round, but here's my thing. If Lamb goes, if Jeudy goes, and then let's say Ruggs going to go next or he goes, you're talking about if you wait till the second round to take a wide receiver, like you're talking about like the 7th or 8th wide receiver off the board. You got to take a receiver at 21, even if Ruggs goes off the board. So let's say the Eagles, they sit at 21, they don't trade up, and Ruggs goes, I don't know, 15, just throwing it out there as a number. So now you have Lamb off the board, Jeudy, and Ruggs. They're all off the board. You have a chance now, if you're the Eagles, to maybe get the 4th best wide receiver. You can get the 4th best wide receiver, or wait and maybe get the 8th best wide receiver in the second round. So I say you got to take the receiver. You got to take him, okay? And there's a lot of skilled position wide receivers in this draft. There's a lot of them, but the Eagles have done a bad job in the past of drafting wide receivers in the mid-round. So, who is the 4th best wide receiver in this draft? If the top 3 guys are off, and we can agree Lamb, Ruggs, and Jeudy are probably your top 3 wide receivers, maybe not in that order. I haven't even decided what order to put them in yet. But let's just say those are your top 3. They're off the board. Who's the next receiver? Who's the receiver at 21 that the Eagles could take? Now, most people are going to say T. Higgins, 6'4", 215 pounds, out of Clemson. Very good, up in the air kind of catch guy. He can make great catches. Great talent, really. He's a really good talent. Big physical receiver. Not the best blocker in the world, but a lot of people would say him. My issue with him is his speed. I don't know how fast he is. I need to see him run a 40. But at this point, before the scouting combine, before the pro day, I don't know what he's going to run. And his speed concerns me because I don't think we just need a big, physical, slow receiver. I think we need a guy who's a dynamic playmaker. So to me, T. Higgins would not be the 4th guy, although he would be to a lot of other people, okay? The other guy a lot of people like is Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, LSU. I think he's 6'3", 190, something like that. He's faster than T. Higgins, no doubt about it. He's a good route runner. He's a good receiver. He's a very good receiver. I don't know that if he's that dynamic, game changer, playmaker type guy. But he's very reliable, very good. He's another guy that a lot of people would go to. If it's me, I'm not going Jefferson, and I'm not going T. Higgins. There's a guy that I'm specifically thinking of who I've been watching a lot of film on, and I'm in love with. And a lot of people have already told me about him, but until you watch things yourself, sometimes you just don't know. And I've watched a lot of this guy over the last few days, and I gotta tell you, he's my fourth best wide receiver in this draft. Now, the guy I'm specifically talking about is one Laviska Shenault Jr. Now, I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, yo, Philly, man, I told you about him weeks ago. You were right. I hadn't had a chance to sit down and really watch him in detail, right? Over the last 3 days, I've been watching him, Higgins, and Jefferson, because I've already watched the top three guys. I wanted to see who was kind of after them, who was after Ruggs. And, these were the three guys I really focused on and looked at. And there's still more guys I have to look at, no question about it. And when I look at Higgins, I see a big physical receiver. I want to see him run a 40. When I see Jefferson, I think he's going to be a good wide receiver. I think he needs to go to the right spot. But when I look at what the Eagles need, and I look at what the Eagles lack, and then I look at Laviska Shenault Jr., he fits the billing perfect. I mean, this kid, 6'2", 220 pounds. 6'2", 220 pounds. He could play inside. He could play outside. This kid is a game breaker. He could take a 1 yard pass and go 90 yards. That's what the Eagles need. They need speed to get deep. They need a guy that can break tackles and run after the catch. This kid does it all. I don't know if you've watched tape, but you should see his legs. He's powerful. He's big. He's powerful. You're not going to tackle him. The first guy's not going to tackle him. It's going to take more than that. And then if he gets past you, he's gone. Okay? This kid has a talent, I think, okay, that if he develops and he goes to the right situation, he could turn out in 3-4 years to be the best wide receiver in this draft. He's got that kind of ability. He doesn't have Ruggs' speed. I don't think anybody in this draft has his speed. But when you look at the combination of speed and size and physicality, this kid has it. Laviska Shenault Jr. is a guy that I would probably, like I said, I haven't really ranked my receivers yet in order, and I'll do that later when we get closer to the draft. But if we're just doing something, a quick top four, I would be like Lamb, Judy, Ruggs, and Shenault Jr. I would put him above Higgins. I'd put him above Jefferson. And not just because of talent or what have you, but because of what the Eagles need. When you combine his strengths with what the Eagles need, it's that. They need explosiveness. They need somebody that can take it to the house. They need somebody physically powerful. He's got all of it. And I know Doug, he likes big wide receivers. He wants a guy with size, right? And that may be why he would favor a Higgins or somebody like that, but it's going to hurt you possibly speed-wise until I see Higgins run the 40. But this kid at 6'2", 220 is not small. He is not small. I don't know, I would love if the Eagles got this kid. And I don't know if he would last if you traded back to like 24, 25. I don't know. But this kid is, I think, something special. And if the Eagles could get him, I would love it. He would be my fourth guy on the list. And I would not let him go past me. If Ruggs, Judy, and Lamb are off the board, I have to go this kid. And to be honest with you, by the time this whole process is said and done, he may be even higher on my list. I think this kid he's got a lot of potential. He's got a lot of potential, and if he comes to the Eagles with a big arm quarterback like Carson, it would be perfect. Like I said, you can't deny the fit that he is for the Eagles in terms of his explosiveness and size. You can move him all around. I would love to see what the Eagles do with this kid. I really would. The other thing I got to say real quick that I like about Shenault Jr. is if you read his backstory, right? He was, big family. They're driving home one day. I guess his mother and father were switching driving on a highway, and the father got out and he got hit by a car and died in front of all his kids. Right? This kid has been through a lot. He's been through a lot, and he plays tough. He is tough. He plays with a lot of heart. Okay, and I think that everything he's gone through outside of football as well as inside of football, and on the field. I think this kid is built for Philly. I think he's built for a city like Philly. I think that he could handle it. It seems like he's very mature, very strong-willed, and he's got a good sense of things. And I think that mindset is a big thing when it comes to the Eagles. I mean, look at Nelson Aguilar. He folds like a wet paper bag. You know what I mean? So I think Shenault Jr. physically explosive, a lot of talent, but mentally he's the kind of guy that I think is built for Philly. So if we come to a situation where you have Judy, Lamb, and Ruggs all off the board, my next guy I'm going is Laviska Shenault Jr. With that said, let me know what you think. Take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.